Good morning, Chuck Graves here again. This is the next installment from the first Ramblings magazine. Before we get into that, I want to say a little bit more about yesterday's topic of tailgating. A lot of people don't understand; they don't figure out how they're tailgating. They can't count seconds between an object in the car in front of them. They can't figure uh, car lengths as relative to speed. But I have a sure way to let you know how you can tell if you're tailgating. I see it all the time on the airport road. One car following another, and the car behind. Every 2 seconds, his brake lights come on. Brakes, brakes, brakes. The reason his brake lights comes on is he's trying to keep from getting too close to the car in front of him. Well, if you have to keep stepping on your brake to keep from getting too close to the car in front of you, you're already too close to the car in front of you. Back off a ways, give yourself some room, and be safe. Okay. Another topic I'd like to speak about regarding driving is headlights. A lot of people think that headlights are so you can see at night. The fact of the matter is, when it starts to get to dusk or if there's bad weather, headlights are not just to be able to see, they're for people to see you. If it's starting to get dark and you don't have your headlights on, it's hard for people to see you. And if you want to know how to know about that, is pay attention to the other cars. The cars that are coming by you and they don't have their headlights on. You'll discover it's hard to see them. So put your headlights on. Mine come on all the time, day or night. I think if lights can help people see me, then so be it. Then I'll put my headlights on. So that's just another safety feature that I think about. Okay, the next topic in the magazine is called Those Big Trucks. What people should know about what I do. Those Big Trucks Out There by Chuck Graves. For the last 20 odd years, I have worked in the trucking industry. I have worked in the office of a small moving company, a large LTL, less than truckload carrier, and currently for a company that started out in the 50s hauling granite gravestones on flatbed trailers, but has now diversified into truckload van work as well. One thing that has always been obvious to me is that the general public seems to have no understanding about the dynamics of trucks. I have worked as a safety manager for some time now, and I can tell you the three most common collisions that occur between four-wheelers and the big rigs, at least as far as my experience goes. Probably the single most common mistake made by four-wheelers when encountering a truck occurs because the four-wheeler doesn't seem to know how much room it takes for a truck to make a turn. I don't know if the concept is explained in the average driver education class in high school, but it should be. A truck cannot turn at an intersection by traveling from the right lane of the road they are on to the right lane of the road they're turning onto. The tractor would make it just fine, but the trailer would wipe out all the people standing on the corner waiting for the walk signal. Here's the scenario that plays out all too often for truckers. A trucker wants to make a right turn. We'll say it's a guy but it could be a girl. They drive too and have the same problem. Tries to take it up half the lane to his left to make room for himself to turn right. He puts on his right turn signal. Lights from the front of the tractor to halfway down the trailer to the back of the trailer all signal that the truck is turning right. When the traffic light turns green, the truck driver begins to swing left so his trailer will not drag over the curb as he turns. A four-wheeler sees the truck begin to turn left and despite all the blinking lights on the right side of the truck, thinks the truck is turning left. So, seeing all the room on the right side, in the right lane, instead of waiting to be sure what the truck is doing, he scoops up the right side of the truck to make his right turn. Keep in mind that the truck driver's mirrors can only see straight back. When he is in a turn, all his right side mirrors show him is the big old right side of his trailer. By the time the tractor begins to turn right, the four-wheeler is halfway up the side of the trailer, and the truck driver cannot see him. As the trailer tracks around back into the right lane, the four-wheeler becomes a speed bump. The same scenario plays out when trucks make left turns in town as well. It is always best to trust the turn signals and stay back until the truck has completed his turn. This way you don't become a speed bump, and if the truck driver does do something stupid, you won't be there. It all boils down to options. You have the option of trying to pass a truck while it's in a turn, or staying back until the truck is done turning. If you choose the option of trying to pass, you share the responsibility for the result. If you choose the option of waiting, there will probably be no result for which to share a responsibility. The second most common collision between trucks and cars, in my experience, is lane changes. The majority of these coming when the four-wheeler changes lanes. This is not to say that trucks do not have crashes when they change lanes. They do. It is just the majority occur when cars change lanes. Please keep in mind that if you can buy all the government statistics which can be presented to prove any point that is trying to be made, you can buy my statement based solely on my own experience. There are a few different situations, all of which have similar theme. Most of the scenarios occur because of one misconception by auto drivers. They believe the truck driver can see them. For instance, a car is in the right lane of a four-lane highway. The truck is in the lane to the car's left. Signs are posted indicating the right lane is ending and the traffic must merge left. Instead of safely merging well before the end of the lane, the car waits until the lane ends, puts his left signal on, and begins to merge into the truck. The driver of the car thinks that because he put his signal on, the vehicles to his left must make room for him. First of all, this is not true. It is not the responsibility of the other driver to get out of your way. It is your responsibility to merge safely. Second, there's a huge blind spot for truck drivers right beside their passenger side headlight. The chances are good the driver of the truck can't even see the car, let alone the turn signal. So the auto driver moves left directly into the path of the truck and the collision occurs. It all boils down to options. You have the option of changing lanes safely long before the lane ends. If you stay in the lane until it ends, you share responsibility for the result. If you choose to change lanes safely, well ahead of time, there will probably be no result for which to share responsibility. The third most common collision between trucks and cars occurs when the truck needs to make a delivery. Many stores, other than small businesses, Many stores and other small businesses are not in industrial parks where there's plenty of room for a truck to maneuver without cars around. A lot of mom and pop stores are right on the street in their delivery door down some alley. Most truck drivers try to get to these places early in the morning before traffic gets heavy, or late at night when hopefully there's no traffic at all. However, they can't always do this, so they drive down busy streets and have to swing one way while signaling the other, as in the turning scenario above, and try to block traffic hoping it will stop back far enough for them to have room to back into the alley or whatever. Whenever you see a truck that looks like it is doing something stupid, you can probably bet he is about to try to get to one of those odd delivery doors. If you want to save yourself time, stop way back and block traffic for him so he can use the whole road without any cars around. He will get out of the way much faster if no cars are near him than if you pull up close and he has to try to dodge you while backing his rig between the pole and the fence without hitting either one or you. But people don't do that. They seem to have this need to stay as close behind the vehicle in front of them as they can. For truck, this means it's close enough so the truck driver can't see them in their mirrors. If you can't see their mirrors, they can't see you. They get real close. The truck driver can't see them and backs into them. It all boils down to options. If you choose the option of being close enough for the truck to back into you, you share the responsibility for the result. If you choose the option of staying back, there will probably be no result for which to share responsibility. That's the story of trucks. Try to be safe, stay away from them, give them plenty of room, and you'll probably be safe. I was riding with someone the other day, and they were getting ready to pass a truck, and they were hesitating. They came up on the truck but hesitated to go by, and I told her, just scoot by, go by as fast as you can. The longer you are beside that truck, the better the chances you're going to have an accident. So when you have to pass a truck, just when you catch up to them, step on the gas, scoot up to a higher speed as fast as you can, and get by them, and then continue the speed you want to go. It's a lot safer to not stay traveling beside the truck. Just get by them and get out of the way, and you'll be a lot safer. All right, the next story that I have here is from my uncle. My 80-year-old uncle wrote this out in California, and he called it Ramblings from an Octogenarian by Uncle Icabod. His name was really John. Sometimes it is amazing what passes through the head of a person who has passed the 80-year mark in life. At different stages, like about 16, you know about all there is to know. At 19, you find out how stupid you were. You didn't know anything, but now you do. Then at about 80, you wonder how you grew old without growing up. At 80, you are probably not working, so that gives you lots of time to think. And even when you subtract the nap time, you spend a lot of time looking back because you can see forever back there. And if you try to spend much time looking ahead, you become short-sighted because there ain't much there. Chances are you are a grandparent several times over. If your grandchildren are spread all over the country, you develop favorites. Heaven forbid. A person does not love a person they never saw, and the feelings they develop are secondhand through another person. I remember my own father, who had 14 grandchildren, and I remember him being a little hurt because he loved a cousin of my son. He loved the cousin of my son more than he loved my son. The fact did not pass through me that the cousin loved his grandmother much more than my son did. The cousin loved his grandfather much more than my son did. I think my father actually saw my son 3 times in his whole life. At the present, I have stepchildren and step-grandchildren, and the ones that think the most of me are not really mine. I am with them all the time, and they love me. It is impossible not to love them back with equal love. Strange world, isn't it? Another thing that old people remember, at least this one, I remember every nasty thing I ever said to hurt somebody. And I remember things that I did that I would give anything to take back now. It seems I must have missed 10,000 chances to keep my mouth shut, and a like amount of chances to do something nice. I am amazed that I have any friend in the world, but I guess I have a lot. I guess people forget and forgive, and I can too, all except me, and I'm working on that. Anyway, the moral of the story from this old man: never miss a chance to do something nice, and be kind, and say something nice, because you couldn't remember it forever if it's bad, and you can forget it easy if it's nice. Sorry I got so choked up there. That's part of my stroke. It takes over me sometimes when I don't want it to, but okay. Anyways, that's my story for today. We'll see you again tomorrow. This is Chuck Graves saying, please subscribe to my magazine and comment, if you will, on any of these videos that I've sent. I'd be interested to hear your statements, your comments. Thank you very much, and have a good day.